Hey guys, thanks for joining me. Today I'm here with longtime friend of the channel, Curtis from Mydesigns, and he's got some killer updates that I personally have already been using. I'm loving it to the Mydesign platform. Curtis, what's up, man?
What's up, Ryan? Thanks for having me on again, man. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, we got to stop waiting so long to rejoin and kind of give everybody the updates to Mydesigns because, like I said, there's been some crazy stuff going on there. The Printify integration most recently has been amazing. So if you want to tell us about that, I'm sure people would love to hear about it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of updates happening behind the scenes, and we finally got to rolling out Printify like you just mentioned. That's been a huge hit with our customer base. Absolutely love it. And I'll explain a little bit more on that later. But outside that, we completely rewrote our mockup rendering engine. So much better, much more stable, and it's opening up a lot of new possibilities. So lots of
Faster.
great things happen there. Yeah, and faster.
Yeah, I noticed how
Um,
fast it was when I was messing around. Like that was really impressive. It was already fast. Like I've already seen it
yeah.
get like faster, but now it's even faster.
Yeah, the key thing there too, outside of just the speed improvement, is there should be no more failed mockup jobs. So what happened occasionally if you were publishing 120 listings and you had 10 mockups per listing, you're talking like 1,200 mockups, right? Occasionally, a couple of those would break through that process, not render for whatever reason. So this should completely solve that, so that really you don't have to worry about going back and finding those missing mockups, regenerating them, and wasting time. So that was a big part of it too.
Yeah, finding the missing one used to be tough, but it's funny is like you're right, it's fixed. I haven't run into that issue yet, but you don't even think about it when it doesn't happen. You know what I mean? But I won't be missing that.
Yeah, exactly. It's a big deal when you're generating a lot of mockups and you come across that issue. It's like, even though it doesn't take that long to regenerate the failed jobs, but it was just annoying. So glad we could get that fixed, and along with all the other improvements that are coming with it.
Yeah, and if anybody missed what Curtis just said, if you're not familiar with Mydesigns, he's going to be doing a screen share, kind of showing us the ropes. But he just talked about you can create 120 product listings at a time, where you use AI to do all of your search engine optimization. You could use AI to create the design too, and then pass it on, create your mockups in bulk. So let's say you're doing 120 products, 10 images per product. So that's 1,200 images in their rendering engine, and it'll do all of them for you and then let you bulk publish it all. It's crazy. I don't think
Yeah,
there's any software that's anywhere close to Mydesigns.
yeah, it'll do that in a couple minutes too. That's the key. Instead of it being 30, 40 minutes, it's just 2 or 3 minutes, sometimes up to 5, but it's really fast.
Yeah, man. What you guys have built is crazy. It only gets better.
Yeah, I agree. And lots of cool things coming this year. Obviously, the Printify thing was a really big deal because now we're onboarding their entire catalog of products. They have upwards of 1,200 products, so it's going to take a little time, but we already have all of our existing products in our catalog supported with Printify, with several new ones being added every day. So, and next week or later this week, but early next week too, we'll have a ton of new products coming.
Awesome. And just so you guys know, if anybody's watching, so as they onboard the catalog of products from Printify too, like you can also make your own custom mockups in Mydesigns. So if you guys do great work, but if you wanted to, like, if you had one specific one for a specific product that's been working really well, you just have to go ahead and enable it for being used in Mydesigns. And once it's done, then it feeds right into their rendering engine, and you could use it, like we were saying, for 120 products at a time, getting all your mockups.
Yep, that's another really big feature of ours is our custom mockup system. So you can just upload your own Photoshop documents into Mydesigns and then render them in bulk, as Ryan said. And you actually can attach them to products now too. So any product, any print-on-demand product in our catalog, you can link your own custom mockup to it, link it to the print area. If it has a color layer, you can link it to that, and then literally just render that during the publishing process. So it's a really nice system. And speaking of, we just rolled out an update today, Ryan, that I didn't talk about, but with our custom mockup system, when you upload PSD files, you used to have the right layer naming and the right structure of the PSD file. Now you can technically take anything as long as it has a smart object, has a layer fill for color or color fill, and you can just upload it and you can assign those layers now right through that process. So it's way easier. You can basically download a PSD and upload it. Sometimes you might need to make some changes to it, but you can just upload it and start rendering it right away.
Nice. That's awesome, man. Cool. Do you want to jump into the screen share?
Yeah, let's do it.
Awesome. All right, you're visible.
Okay, so I'm in the Mydesigns demo account. So last week I was experimenting with the new Printify product, embroidered hats. It's through the custom dad cap you can see here. This is a really popular product. Embroidery is obviously really good. So I wanted to see how fast I could do that in Mydesigns. So basically what I want to do is show you how to connect your Printify account to Mydesigns so you can see how easy that is. And then I can show you what I did to publish those products and kind of create them as well. So if you're new to this, all you got to do is have your Mydesigns account and make sure you have Printify. I have them both opened up here. And from Printify, you want to log into here and then connect your Etsy shop first, or your Shopify store, whatever it is you're selling on. And then once you do that, go back to My Designs, go up to your account settings. And over in the left, you're going to have print partners. So you can see I have nothing connected to this demo account. You just click the Connect Printify. And this will redirect you over to Printify to approve the permissions, which is really simple. It's really seamless. Just allow that. And it'll redirect you back to My Designs. And because I only have one Etsy shop connected to that Printify account, it automatically will sync it. But it's really important that if you have, let's say, 2 or 3 Etsy shops connected to your Printify account and you have them connected to My Designs, you want the orders to route to the proper shops based on which shop you're publishing to through My Designs. So that's what this is here for. It'll just show you the different shops. So I can see the name of my shop and I can make sure it's connected to the same shop here. But there's only one, so that's why I didn't show any other shops. But that's it. Printify is connected. Now from our publishing side, everything else in My Designs works the exact same.
So just to stop you for a second too, like the whole point of what Curtis just did is that now when you publish a product to Etsy or Shopify, like when you make an order, My Designs routes that to Printify and you're billed, the same way that you would have been as if this product listing originated from Printify, but it's going to originate from My Designs, like Curtis was saying, all the neat, AI mockups, everything, all the good stuff, and then still get fulfilled by Printify.
Yeah, that's right. And directly through your own Printify account. Yeah, through your own Printify account.
Through your own.
So whatever pricing you have through Printify, that's what you're going to be charged. So we're not charging you for the orders. We're just routing them through My Designs over to Printify, set up on the exact SKU that was ordered. So it's really
and Printify has support too.
Yeah.
Yep.
And now from here, so I was experimenting some embroidered hats. Let me change this so you can see. So I actually made all of these in Dream AI. Just wanted to test like just text-based designs straight up in Dream AI. I found that the Flux context model worked really good for this typewriter font. And I was just putting those on hats. In fact, let me just see. You can see kind of here. Had some mockups pre-generated to show you what this looks like. It's a couple different niches like golf, travel, hiking, I believe. And I spun these up in literally seconds. It didn't take that long at all using our parallel prompt feature in Dream AI. But I have these already. So let me just go over to Dream and show you. So I can actually type. Let me go search for typewriter. Filter these out. So you can see the prompt here. Let me apply this. So yeah, a textual statement written in a plain white text. The text reads trail mail and held to trail. So just different like slogans for this particular niche. But what's important here is in a typewriter style font. The background is black. That was it. Because ideally I wanted these to be white text on the black or darker hats. And so I just did that. And I generated, as you can see, just did this all in bulk really quickly. And I even used this scale feature. So I just had my prompt set up and said, hey, scale this to the top 10 similar ideas within the travel niche. And then it just created all the prompts for me and I just hit generate. So it's that easy. But what I did at this point.
That's so crazy, dude. Creating all these designs in like a minute or less.
Yeah, there's a lot more. Like if you go, there's a lot of them here. Just trying out different things. But once I had the ones I wanted, I just went through and selected them. I saved them to the listings page. And then I removed the backgrounds and I actually vectorized them because like it's not giving me just pure white on the text, like color. So I vectorized them. Then I just opened them in Canvas, the vector files, and just quickly set them up on the dadcat template and then adjust them because they're vectors, adjust them to pure white. So it took probably a couple minutes to go through all, 24 of these. And that was it. Then I had my file ready for this hat. So at that point, I didn't pre-generate these mockups till after, just so I could have them for the demo here. But all I did is generated these designs, I vectorized them, and then I saved them as the perfect file. And then from there, I can just go publish. So I'm going to go Etsy, and I'll show you that process. So if I go classic dad cap from Printify, you'll see that there's the Printify option after you connect your Printify account, and then you'll see the print partners they have here for any of the products in our catalog that Printify also has. And there's a bunch of new products now in our catalog that are just Printify, but you can choose from Printify's options here. So Printify Choice, which I think they'll determine where that order goes, or Fulfill Engine, which is here in the United States. And from here, you can see, like I already said, like this, let me turn this background. Activate background so you can actually see the design. So you can see that here, everything's already preset up. So it's like perfectly for this template. But if I sync the background, I think that's going to sync the design. Let me change that in a bit. So you can actually see that all these are here, all set up. There's 24 of them. Now you can make subtle changes here if you want, but that's it. I'm not going to save that. And then you got your hat colors here. Got the size, obviously, and then there's different mockups here. So we're going to add more mockups. These are the ones we're just starting with. Let me add this basic one here, and we'll get the darker colors.
Yeah, I've sold a ton of hats in my day, and the flat mockups, as they're called in Printful, like they work like a charm. You don't have to get too complicated.
Yeah, that's awesome. So something like this here, just a basic mockup. Actually select all those colors. So this one, and then once you generate mockups, right, you can go add all these if you want, generate all the mockups that you want, and then you're good to go, basically. That's going to apply to all 24 of these. But let's move this black one here, move that to the end. And you can adjust mockups that way if you're not familiar with that. But also a new feature that's, well, fairly new over the last 2 months, we added this auto-generate video mockup. Instead of generating any of this stuff ahead of time, you can just do it all during the publishing process now. So if I toggle that on, it'll create a video mockup out of these mockups here in the exact order they appear here. So that's how that works.
Can I mention one thing too? Like, just as somebody who's done a bunch of hats in Printful, especially when publishing to Etsy, like I've told my success manager, and it's still not like live yet, but when you publish, it auto selects the mockups for you, and you end up pushing, like, instead of pushing like one of each color variant, it pushes like the first color and then like 5 extra angles of it. And it's completely, I mean, I'm not trying to be mean, but it's like completely useless. And then all the customers message me saying, hey, can I see like this color or this color? And then I have to go in like in Printful, create the template, download the mockups, manually upload them, sync them to the color variations. It's just like in Mydesigns, you get in there and it just does it for you. So
yeah, that's why we kind of readjust how we did mockups here. So if you add a mockup, you can choose what colors you want to actually generate that mockup with, which is great. So you have full control over that. And also another thing that someone brought up in our community, actually yesterday, I think, is they wanted to do hats, but they wanted to have the dark version, like dark font, and then the light font. So here we have the white font, right? So I'm like, you can do that. Like, the great thing about Mydesigns that you can't really do through Printify unless you go and get really technical and manually modify your Etsy listing with the SKUs and all that. You can just add the same product here, adjust the print file to the light version, then choose the light colored options. And then when it's ordered on Etsy, it's obviously everything's already set up perfectly. You don't have to worry about any of the manual stuff outside of that. So you can do all kinds of stuff with multi-product publishing that way.
Yeah, it's a great point. Printify makes that like a lot easier to do than Printful.
Yeah. All right. So I think from here, like that's really it. It's really simple, right? I'm gonna go to the next step where it's data. And I didn't generate any of my data. You can always enter that manually, but you can just use Vision AI, toggle all 24 of these listings on. On the other product type, it has other selected. So I'm gonna actually go down and we'll leave other, and I'll just type in dad cap. Keep it simple. And you can adjust this to the 2.5 model or leave it on the 1.5 model. They're both good, but 2.5 is a lot better in my opinion. And then for the generate product features, it'll actually grab the product features from the classic dad cap. And then custom instructions, if you want to give it more details, like if you're within a particular niche, you want certain keywords used in your titles and tags, you can just tell it and it'll do it really well. But in this case, I don't have an example ready, so I'll just uncheck that. But let's just generate this. So it's going to scan that design for all 24 of these. Shouldn't take more than 20 seconds or so, and you'll have all that listing data. So
show an example of the tags it came up with, because at least one person is watching this video right now that didn't know that you could do this, and they're like, okay, I spend half my day doing Etsy tags, battling with the 20 character limit. Like, just let the AI do it. It just did it for all the designs Curtis made, all the listings Curtis made in less than 20 seconds.
Yeah, I'm going to go to this golf cap here. So Birdie Brigade, right? You can't see the design because it's white, so it's not showing it very well here, but with that transparency grid. But yeah, so golf hat, dad cap, Birdie Brigade, golf team, golf outing, golf gift, golf apparel, golf present, golf tournament, golf fan, golfing team, golf lover gift, sporty hat. So some of them might not be perfect. You can always go in and adjust it later, or you can rerun Vision AI. But in most cases, if you combine custom instructions, you can get some really fantastic output. So a lot of the time now, I hardly ever go into Etsy after. I just do it with Vision AI with custom instructions. I gave it good examples and good keywords, and then everything's pretty much good to go. So that's, and then you got all the product details from the hat itself, right? The actual product. So really nice. And that's it. That's how fast we did that. So now we can move to the next step for pricing. This is great right here. So it takes a second, but what it does, so if you're on Printify Premium, it'll pull in the exact price you're getting for this product. So you can actually see exactly what you're being charged from Printify. So in my case, this is just a demo account on Printify. It's not premium. So it's showing the 1953. But if you're on premium, that'll be like what, 14 something. and it'll reflect right here every time on every one of the products from Printify. So you can just go ahead and adjust the, the product pricing.
So it'll show the premium price if you're on Printify Premium, just to confirm.
Yep. So if your Printify account's connected, you have Printify Premium on that account, it's going to show that pricing here. So that way you can accurately kind of gauge what you want to charge here and see your approximate profits.
Nice.
So that's I'm just going to set it at $29.99. It could probably go higher, but just leave it there and go next. And this is just really to preview everything. So it has all 24 of these listings. But at the top, you got the platform, you got the shop, then the category. Probably just type in hats and caps. I'll put it there. This is a new option too. This isn't really relevant to this video or Printify, but you can now publish any of the Mydesigns products in our catalog to, Etsy, Shopify, etc. And if you check this, we're not going to add any of our actual SKUs to the variants. You can actually fulfill the product yourself. So that's something that a lot of our customers have requested over time. So that's how you do that. But I just wanted to mention that because it's new. But down here, you can adjust all your settings, right? And then personalization. This is another key feature. These aren't personalized hats per se, but they were. You could turn that on and edit them right in our orders page, make those changes based on what the customer wants. When you approve that order, it goes over to Printify after. So with the proper print file, it's already personalized.
Nice, man. Yeah, that's awesome. And the self-fulfillment option too. So people can just use Mydesigns and just be using it for their own complete other fulfillment business, but, still upload their custom mockups, use the AI, yeah,
exactly.
That's sick.
Well, we did that in a lot of ways because we had a lot of demand for it, but also I know a ton of Etsy sellers actually fulfill t-shirts, etc., out of their garage. It's actually pretty popular. A lot of people doing that at home. They want probably slightly higher profit margins. They're willing to put in the work to do that. They have the machinery. So it just made sense. So you can take any of our products, go publish them, and then just fulfill them yourself if you wish. So yeah, that's now an option.
And you could also sync if you needed to, you could sync those orders after the fact to your Printful or Printify account really easily too. So it's cool to have that flexibility built in.
Yeah, 100%. And then one more thing, this is I think I showed you this in the past, Ryan. It's also there's a lot that's happened over the last 4 or 5 months. We have publishing profiles. So if I were going to continue to build this same type of hat with the same type of colors, the same mockups, all the settings I just went through in the publishing process, I can just save this. Let's say classic dad cap. I'm gonna say dark colors, and then I can just save that profile. And now what's great, all I have to do going forward is go generate new designs, make sure they're ready. I can load the profile one click, and all these settings will be pre-populated exactly how we just did it, so that you don't have to go through that process anymore. It's just like one click, and you're at this last step here to publish. You can always go back and edit any of these steps.
Can you show what that would be like, just real quickly?
Yeah, I'm going to publish this real quick, and then I'll show you. So that way you can see that these are now publishing all 24 of those caps. It'll generate all the mockups we selected. It'll generate the video mockup, and they should be on Etsy in a couple minutes in the drafts folder. But yeah, so now that's going, basically I was saying go publish, go public or profiles, my save profiles here. And we see this here, the latest one. It'll show you the colors that are used, the size, the price, dimensions, right? I could just load profile. And it'll take you to the variants page, but it'll have everything pre-selected exactly how we set it up. For this particular, so I can just go next. For Vision AI, you'll just need to rerun it again. So if I just ran that again, I'll just leave everything base settings. Oops, I need to put in dad cap here. Let that run, and then go to the pricing page. You'll have everything filled out for us, and the same thing with that last step.
And it's just generating the mockups behind the scenes.
Yeah,
that's killer, dude. Somebody told me the other day, they were like, "Don't forget to use profiles." I was like, I'm still guilty of not using profiles as my first instinct. I'll see it when I get to publish. I'm like, oh yeah, profiles. But I'm still, I don't know. Maybe I also get a little enjoyment out of clicking around and watching everything get taken care of in bulk by AI,
Yeah. Yeah, profiles are really nice. While that's going, you see these hats are publishing. But if I go through these steps, you'll see pricing, exactly how we set it up. And all the other settings here, you can see the category and everything saved. So if you're doing personalization, you had a particular message, or you're pulling it from a field from your collection, your template, then all that would just be set up for you.
Nice, man. That's awesome. Good work to you and the team.
Yeah, thank you. That's going over there. And then on Printify, I don't have an order, obviously, but if it happens, the order will come into Mydesigns and just directly into your Printify account. They'll be the ones to charge you and fulfill the product for you. But all the tracking information, everything works through Mydesigns the exact same. So it'll come back over to Mydesigns, back over to Etsy, or wherever you're selling, and just check that order off as complete when that's done. But yeah, fully streamlined process.
Awesome. And I'll definitely put my link to sign up for Mydesigns at the top of the description. I'll put the Printify link as well in case you don't have an account. And I have a code for a free month of premium. What's not to love? So you get the best fulfillment pricing as well.
And there you go. And there's our hats, sitting in draft. It's got the video and everything.
Yeah, the video too. That's crazy. Does it link the SKU to the color by chance? I have to ask. Does it automate the link of the SKU?
Not yet, but we can actually, I think, do that now if you're not doing custom mockups ahead of time that aren't linked to a product. So that way we know what colors selected to what mockup during the publishing process. Then we can actually enable that now. So I know we do it for Shopify. So something we'll do with Etsy too pretty soon.
Yeah, I actually tested to Shopify first. I've been working on my my organic traffic Shopify store. Mydesigns is going to be the backbone of everything. So I'm loving it, man. Yeah,
thank you. It's getting better and better.
Yeah, and somebody reminded me too. They were like, well, when you do that, just like, how like with Shopify, you can set up a million apps and integrations and you can automate it to push your products to other places too. So they were like, yeah, have it push to, eBay and Walmart and wherever,
Yeah, that is an amazing thing about Shopify. And we have a lot of our sellers that have like eBay and Walmart and different platforms set up that just route through Shopify, then over to Mydesigns.
Yep.
And that whole process is really seamless and works so well.
Yep. Yeah. So, I mean, it's 2025. I always like to remind myself of the year. It's like, I got to be taking advantage of the advancements in tech, even if I didn't have to program it myself, which is ideal at this point in my life. Like, I used to be a web developer. I used to try to be on the cutting edge. Now I'm like, you know what? I'm a few weeks late, but I got my friend Curtis here. He's going to do all the heavy lifting and just show me now what I need to do to improve my print on demand business.
Yeah. Well, we're just about streamlining everything. So slowly but surely we're getting there.
Well, hey, if anybody saw this video and you want to learn more about Mydesigns, you have another YouTube channel as well where you're putting out tutorials. You got the Discord. I know you do live streams every Thursday. So anything else you want to plug?
I think that's it. I got my personal YouTube channel that I'm pushing a bunch of content out to. That's Curtis Blackmore. And then we have the Mydesigns channel as well. So both of them get a lot of content. And then, the Mydesigns community and our Discord. And that's pretty much it.
All right, it's good stuff. I'm going to put links to the YouTube channels below as well, so you guys can check that out, subscribe, etc. Curtis, man, it's always great catching up with you. Thanks for doing this, and I'll see you next time.
Absolutely, Ryan. Good to see you.